You should read this.
Oh my God.
Put your hands up!
What?
Hands up! Put them up! Put them up!
My hands are up.
Get on the floor!
I can't get on the damn floor.
Why?
My jeans are too tight right now.
I don't care!
Travis is a truck driver who does routine cash pickups at the First Atlantic Bank. Just like any other day, he heads to the bank and signs at Mikey's desk for the pickup. Zoe, a beautiful young lady, asks to borrow his pen, and Travis is lost in her beauty when he looks up. He finally snaps out of his daze when she asks again, and he hands her the pen. After collecting the bags from Mikey, Zoe meets him and seductively stretches out a note, telling him to read it. However, Travis suddenly does a complete 180 and tries to pull out his gun, leaving Zoe confused. After several tugs, he finally manages to draw it and points it at her, ordering her to surrender. Everyone else immediately gets on the ground at the sight of the weapon, except Zoe, who raises her hand in disbelief. Travis thinks she's about to rob the bank and orders her down. With her hands up, she yells that
My jeans are too tight right now.
I don't care!
He excitedly tells Mikey that
We're gonna be heroes!
but Zoe insists he read the note. Only then does he realize he never did. It turns out to be nothing more than her name and number, telling him to call her. All that drama over nothing. Later, out on a date with her, he apologizes for the incident, but Zoe holds no grudges. He grows nervous since it's been so long since his last date and regrets the night might end early because the restaurant is closing. Zoe, however, has other plans for him in her hotel room, so the date is far from over. In the early hours of the morning, Russell, another pickup driver, prepares for his day. He lovingly looks at his wife, Natalie, in bed, wakes her, and wishes her a happy anniversary. They've been married for 25 years and are still going strong. He promises to retire in 6 months, once they've saved enough money, so it will finally be just the two of them. To celebrate, he tells her he'll take her to the first restaurant they ever visited together, which makes her happy, and they share a kiss. Before leaving, he makes her promise not to be late, and even has her repeat it in Spanish. Meanwhile, Travis wakes up alone in the hotel room, but quickly scrambles to work when he checks the time. At work, Russell isn't happy with his assigned route, and tries to argue with his boss, Clark, but Clark won't budge. Russell is the best man for the job, and Travis has been assigned as his partner. Just then, Travis walks in, 2 minutes late, and in high spirits after his weekend, making Russell even more frustrated. Russell cuts off Travis's bragging about his bedroom skills, scolding him for being late. They head to the truck, but Russell makes it clear he won't tolerate any nonsense. He reminds Travis that it's his anniversary, and he must be back in 9 hours. They begin bantering when Travis mentions Natalie's name, having overheard Russell say it on the phone. It's clear the ride will be eventful.
Good instincts. Yeah, he's a fucking douchebag.
Meanwhile, Zoe reveals her true nature, bringing together 2 men, Banner and Miguel, for a heist. Their target is a Guardian Armored Services truck transporting $60 million from Swedesboro across a 100-mile dead zone to Pleasantville. With no cell service, they'll have 70 minutes alone with the truck to break in. Zoe believes the guards won't be a problem, and Banner and Miguel agree, despite their dislike for each other. The truck, of course, is the very one Russell and Travis are driving. Zoe's meeting with Travis was no accident. On the road, Travis tries talking, but Russell ignores him. Left with no choice, Travis pulls out a speaker and plays music, which earns only a silent look of judgment from Russell. After the first pickup, Travis unwraps a chocolate bar and offers Russell a bite, but quickly takes it back after seeing his expression. Later, his food choice betrays him, and a foul fart smell fills the truck, leaving Russell beyond disgusted. Once all the pickups are done, Clark radios in, asking Travis about the bank incident. Their contract has been pulled from all First Atlantic branches, and Clark furiously fires him. The radio cuts to static, and Travis begins sobbing over his failed life. He fears he'll fail the Metro PD test if he takes it, and Russell tries to comfort him. Still, he reminds Travis to drive faster. Just then, Zoe and her crew catch up. Distracted by his tears, Travis accidentally runs Banner off the road, but Banner regains control and rejoins with Zoe in front, while Miguel follows behind. Russell grows suspicious of their movements, and Miguel seizes the moment to drive up alongside the truck. Zoe climbs onto the roof of her car, holding a note instructing them to pull over. Travis starts panicking, but Russell urges him to stay calm and remember his training. Unfortunately, Travis's only training was a 15-hour online course. Russell tries radioing for help, but they're already in the dead zone. Zoe shows them several more notes, making Russell realize the crew knows their route. Travis suggests pulling over and giving them the money, asking Russell what their odds of survival are. Russell says it's a 100% chance of being eliminated, so stopping is not an option. Frustrated, Zoe signals Miguel, who throws a tear gas canister into the truck. Russell immediately moves to grab it, but the gas has already filled the truck. Travis can no longer see the road, forcing Russell to grab a canned drink from Travis's cooler. He pours it all over Travis's face, then splashes some on his own to clear their eyes. Zoe orders Miguel to take out a tire, and he shoots an arrow straight into it. The truck swerves chaotically, causing Miguel to collide with Banner, and Travis manages to steer the vehicle away with Russell's help. Russell quickly opens the roof hatch and rear door to let the gas escape, then closes them, and returns to his seat, warning Travis that the robbers aren't finished yet. They still have 80 miles to Pleasantville, where real law enforcement will be. Until then, it's just the two of them against the robbers. By Travis's calculation, they can get there in 48 minutes at 100 miles per hour, or in 40 minutes at 110 miles per hour. Math, at least, is something he's good at. Unfortunately, the damaged tire starts acting up, and Russell orders Travis to pull over. Spotting the arrow, he tells him to grab the repair kit, but Zoe and her crew are already back on the road, heading their way. While fixing the tire, Russell asks how long it will take the robbers to catch up if they're driving 110. Travis does his calculations and says 4 minutes, leaving Russell impressed. He wonders why Travis even wants to be a cop, but Travis admits he doesn't. He just wants acceptance from his family of cops. They notice a car approaching, and Travis tries signaling with his thumb. Russell doubts it will work, and sure enough, the car zooms past without stopping. Meanwhile, Zoe deduces that the guards must have pulled over to change the tire, since it would have been impossible to get that far with a flat. She and her crew turn toward their location. Just as Russell finishes the repair, the vehicles close in, and he and Travis jump back into the truck and take off. With Russell's urging, Travis drives directly between the incoming cars, briefly throwing Banner and Zoe off balance. The victory lasts only seconds, as they regroup and chase again. Travis attempts evasive maneuvers but ends up sandwiched between both cars, clearly not living up to his supposed driving skills. With 15 minutes left to Pleasantville, Miguel attaches a rope to his car and launches himself onto the back of the truck. Travis swerves to shake him off, but Banner breaks ahead of them, slowing the truck and giving Miguel stability. Miguel starts cutting into the truck, and Russell orders Travis to push harder against Banner's car. Acting quickly, Russell draws his gun and fires at Miguel through the side door, but Miguel shoots back. In the exchange, Russell loses his weapon, and Miguel resumes cutting. Desperate, Travis hands him pepper spray, which only frustrates Russell further. What use is that, for crying out loud? Russell searches for the cash bags but instead finds a frozen monkey, clearly Travis's pickup. Finally spotting the money, he opens the door, causing Miguel to dangle precariously. Russell begins tossing bundles out, while Travis cheers him on by singing like it's a church service. Banner drives alongside and fires at them, but Zoe reminds him to stick to the plan. Spotting a wad of bills with die written on the band, Russell gets an idea and hurls it onto Banner's windshield. The die pack bursts, coating the glass in bright blue. He throws another bundle through the sunroof, detonating inside the car. Banner loses control, flipping multiple times before crashing violently. Miguel reacts fast, removes the rope, and swings into the truck. He clashes with Russell inside, only to realize the older man is much stronger than he looks. At that moment, Clark's voice briefly crackles through the radio, and Travis tries to explain the situation, but static overtakes the signal again. Russell gains the upper hand, slamming 2 dye-stained bundles onto Miguel before kicking him out of the truck. The dye explodes and Miguel smashes against Zoe's windshield before tumbling onto the asphalt. Russell slams the door shut as Zoe's car begins smoking. The cutting tool inside has caught fire. Still, she doesn't stop chasing. Russell hurls a heavy bag of coins at the windshield, causing the vehicle to burst into flames, flip several times, and crash. He and Travis feel triumphant, but it seems the celebration would be short-lived. Zoe is nowhere to be found in the wreck. Instead, she attaches a rope to the back of the truck. Exhausted, Russell complains of body pains, and neither notices the rear door opening until Zoe cocks her gun and waves from the back. Afterward, she forces them to a building, where Travis is stunned when he sees her face. Turns out he had unknowingly leaked information during their night together. But Zoe doesn't expose him. Instead, she orders them up and begins searching their pockets. She finds Natalie's ring, which Russell had planned to surprise his wife with, and pockets it, promising to return it once her job is done. She insists she doesn't want to kill them, but will if necessary. After all, they took out her men, leaving her with a choice: abandon $60 million and 2 years of planning, or finish the job with both of them. Travis asks about Zoe's partners, suggesting she go check if they're okay, but she shuts him up with a warning shot into the distance. Russell tries telling her there was only $300,000 in the truck and not $60 million, but Travis suggests maybe it's the squirrel monkey. They banter over that absurd conclusion until Zoe makes it clear the truck itself is worth the money, leaving them stunned. All they had to do was get out. She asks if they're in or out, and with no other choice, they agree to cooperate rather than be sent to their maker. Inside the truck, Travis quietly thanks Zoe for not exposing the truth about him. She's surprised to learn he called the fake number she gave him, but Travis argues they shared such intense private moments that he couldn't not call. Russell gets back in, cutting off the conversation. Meanwhile, Miguel and Banner manage to recover, and Banner is furious when he realizes Zoe has ditched them. Swearing revenge, he goes off in search of a car. Back in the truck, Zoe orders Travis to call Clark, reminding him to sound normal. But normal for Travis means crazy, and he does just that, even making a bizarre comment about Clark's smoothie. Zoe realizes he's been fired for being unhinged, though Travis recounts the whole firing story which led to him being fired, as if she hadn't been in the bank. To make things worse, Russell adds that the woman disappeared after Travis fell in love with her, but Travis denies. Zoe can't help but chuckle. She checks their phones and notices missed calls from Natalie, along with a spicy photo and some messages. She tells Russell he needs to reply. Just then, Natalie calls again, and Zoe urges him to answer, telling her he has to make another stop and postpone dinner. Russell follows instructions, but Natalie's tone makes it clear she's not happy. Afterward, Zoe makes her own call, giving Natalie's name and address as leverage. If she doesn't check in every half hour, Natalie will be gone. Zoe then directs them to a building where they meet Chop Shop, another partner. She explains the change of plans and asks him to fix the truck. Though he doesn't like seeing Russell and especially Travis there, he agrees. Afterwards, Zoe takes Russell and Travis to a cafe, all three disguised in overalls. Before they enter, she shows them a live feed of Natalie going about her day, reminding them of what will happen if they misbehave. Inside, Zoe orders pancakes, but Russell and Travis refuse to eat, though Travis lights up when he learns Zoe likes dipping her pancakes the same way he does, which only frustrates Russell more. He worries aloud about prison or getting shot, but Zoe assures him nothing will happen if they cooperate. Using salt and sugar shakers as stand-ins, she explains their mission, robbing a casino's cash pickup. The plan impresses them, but Russell points out it won't work. Casino pickups are handled by the central depot, and not them. Zoe doesn't care, ordering him to do his job properly then. A ping from her phone distracts her, and she learns the truck is ready. Russell mocks her for using an android, joking that she really must need the money. Zoe slides something under the table for him to grab, but when he bends down, she zip-ties his wrist to the leg of the table, leaving him regretting his life choices. She then takes Travis to the restroom. Russell assumes she wants intimacy, but Zoe just needs his uniform. She admits she enjoyed their time together, and Travis agrees, though he calls her crazy. She argues they're on the same level. His job is dangerous too, and the money he transports belongs to people who don't live by the rules, so in her eyes, it's fair game. Back at the table, Russell quietly breaks a mug under the table. Meanwhile, Travis helps Zoe button up, which makes her unexpectedly emotional. She's stunned, however, to find him still wearing the same underwear from their night together. When they return, Russell has escaped. Outside, he ambushes Zoe, holding her captive and ordering Travis to grab her gun. He pushes her to the ground and demands she call off the plan and protect Natalie. Travis, however, seems more concerned about Zoe's safety, confusing Russell. Zoe pulls another gun on Travis, ordering him to hand hers back. When he finally does, Russell realizes Travis has been the inside man all along. Travis protests, but Russell pins him by the throat until Zoe admits Travis had no idea what he'd revealed. Furious that Zoe played him, Russell blames Travis, but Zoe insists it isn't his fault. She's simply that good at her job. Back in the truck, Travis tries apologizing, but Russell ignores him. Travis attempts to justify himself, but Russell cuts him off. Who follows a woman they've pulled a gun on to a hotel room when she offers intimacy right after? That should have been a red flag. To Russell, Travis is an idiot. Travis fires back that Russell is too afraid to ever quit the job. Meanwhile, Banner and Miguel track down Chop Shop, demanding Zoe's location. At first, he pretends not to know, but when Banner shoots him in the groin, he spills what he knows. However, it doesn't save him, and Banner ends him with another shot. With 29 minutes left until the heist, Zoe ties Travis up in the back of the van. She tells him he's staying there while she takes Russell with her. Travis wonders if she isn't worried he'll escape and ruin everything, but Russell cuts in, saying he wouldn't dare put his boo in danger. Travis instantly denies it, earning a sharp snap from Zoe for his rebuttal. She insists they could still run off into the sunset, and Travis agrees, urging her to stop the robbery. She argues she's not their enemy, though Russell counters that it's always been about the money, no matter what she claims. This makes her open up about how her dad passed. He worked as a security guard in the casino and died while trying to save some other guards. Instead of the casino paying his workers' comp and tax benefits, they blamed him for being a hero. This makes Zoe emotional, and she tells them how she and her mom were left with nothing. She was 12 at the time. Her dad died because their money was more important to them, so she's come to take that important thing. Her revenge has always been for her dad, and Travis apologizes about her loss, while Russell just looks on with sympathy. Just as they get ready to leave, an angry rap sounds on the window, and it turns out to be Natalie, who shows Russell the tracker on her phone. He rushes to open the door and tries to explain, but you just can't explain anything to an angry Latina woman. Zoe pokes her head, also trying to explain, but Natalie barges inside. However, when she sees Travis tied on the floor, she begins reevaluating her decisions. Well, what's one more hostage to the mix? Zoe pulls out her gun, making Natalie terrified. Russell tells her to just do as Zoe says, but Natalie doesn't even need to be told, because she's not about to be a hero for someone else's money. When she learns that Russell and Travis tried to play hero, she is beyond confused. She accuses Russell of ruining their anniversary because he wanted to be a hero, but Russell directs it back at Zoe. With a bit of reluctance, Zoe brings out a rope to tie Natalie. Natalie agrees, but threatens to end Zoe if she hurts Russell, and Zoe completely understands. Russell wonders how she got past the guy, making Natalie confused. Zoe confesses it was just her cousin who earned $100, and no real threat, making Russell really frustrated. Well, she did say she was good at her job. They arrive at the casino, keeping track with the real truck before it comes. After several tense seconds of verification, they are finally allowed entry by the security. Before leaving the truck with Zoe, Russell kisses Natalie, telling her how much he loves her. She reciprocates, urging him not to do anything dumb. Zoe and Russell face the casino guard, who is confused since they're not the people who usually come. Trying to cover up, Russell tells a short story about why they were switched and how the guards ran into robbers. The guard eventually believes him, and he comments about who could be a fool to rob an armored truck, making Zoe throw Russell a look. Inside the truck, Travis begins getting nervous and tries going in, but Natalie calms him down, reminding him of the danger. Zoe and Russell are taken to the vault, but what they don't expect is what they see right before their eyes. A photo shoot of an MMA fighter is going on inside, with the money and some girls as props. Inside the van, Travis admits that he's falling for Zoe, but Natalie tells him that's stupid. He'll never see her again when this is over, but Travis disagrees. He apologizes for everything that's happened, including losing Natalie's wedding ring, which immediately draws Natalie's attention. The casino guard tells Zoe and Russell to give them another 10 minutes, but they are working with time. Deciding to handle the situation, Zoe approaches the fighter, lying to him about his rival mocking him in a press conference. This immediately gets his attention, and he leaves with his crew to handle things. Just like that, problem solved. The cash is packed, and they all head out. However, they get stopped by an older guard who recognizes Zoe. He was friends with her dad, and he apologizes for the loss. She shakes him off, and he leaves. They all head to the truck, and the casino guard tries to open the door, but Russell stops him, insisting they have it under control. This draws some sort of suspicion, but he nods anyway, and leaves with the other guard. They drive to leave, and hear from the radio that the real truck is 1 minute from check-in. After tense seconds of bated breaths, waiting for the light to turn green so they could leave, it eventually turns, giving them relief. However, the real truck begins coming in, and Zoe urges Russell to drive. They pass each other, but the security gets confused when the real truck stops at the gate. On the road, they see a police car, but they pass without getting pulled over, making everyone sigh in relief. Zoe directs Russell to an abandoned building where she's stashed 2 cars. They can take one, while she leaves with the other since she has a flight to catch. Just when they think everything is over, a truck suddenly comes crashing into them, and they all pass out from the accident. When they wake up, Russell, Natalie, and Travis find themselves tied to the van, while Miguel and Banner pour petrol all over. They've taken the money, and Banner hits Zoe, who's on the floor. Thankfully, Travis finds a plier, and Russell gets it, trying to cut the zip tie. Zoe pleads to let the 3 go, since he has what he wants, but Banner disagrees, vowing to take everything, including Natalie's ring. Russell instructs Travis to put the gear in reverse, and just as Miguel is instructed to light up the truck, and Banner readies to shoot Zoe, Russell tells Travis to step on the accelerator. The truck immediately moves, disrupting Banner's plan. Seeing the truck beelining her way, Zoe quickly lies down flat on the ground, and it passes above her without hurting her. Banner and Miguel jump out of the way, and Russell tells Travis to stop just before the truck hits. The forced stop flings Russell out, but he gets back his bearings and begins shooting at Banner. Banner returns the favor, but Zoe also opens fire. While Banner shoots in Zoe's direction, Miguel gets in the way, and Banner shoots him down with a smile on his face. Well, he never liked the man. Zoe uses this moment to escape in the car with the money, but Banner grabs Natalie and heads to the second car to pursue. Russell tries to save her, but he gets shot twice. This angers Natalie, as she kicks Banner's face, but he gets her back by throwing a hard punch, knocking her out. Banner drives off with Natalie. Thankfully, the Kevlar vest Russell is wearing saves his life, and Travis helps him up. Just as they drive out, Travis doesn't see Miguel getting up, and accidentally runs him over. Seems there's no coming back for Miguel this time. Banner quickly catches up to Zoe, trying to ram her off the road. Travis and Russell join the chase, but the police also get involved. They begin chasing the truck, having no idea who the real bad guys are, which makes Russell and Travis really frustrated. Banner yells an offer to Zoe, an exchange of the money for Natalie, but he opens fire on her instead. Clark radios in, angry about their lateness. Watching the live news, he sees the whole road show, but then realizes Russell and Travis are the ones being talked about, spotting his truck in the chase. Banner successfully disarms the police with his machine gun. And begins pursuing Zoe and Ernest. Travis also follows, but time seems to stop for a few seconds when he launches the truck into the air, making both of them scream out. Thankfully, he lands without crashing. Zoe turns her car around, but Banner can't follow suit, blocked by the truck. He opens fire on them, but it doesn't penetrate since it's an armored truck. However, the engine beneath isn't so lucky, and fire begins spreading. Zoe watches them, her conscience weighing heavily. Travis rams Banner's car, but Banner manages to pull to the side. Russell realizes that they are on fire, and Travis tries using the brakes, but they fail. Flames consume the truck, forcing Russell and Travis to run for their lives. The plan is to jump and land on the road, but instead they crash onto a car. Zoe has come to the rescue. The truck explodes just then. She stops for them to climb in, but Travis gets stuck on the windshield by his zip tie. With no time to waste and Natalie still in danger, Russell yells at Zoe to drive while Travis hangs on, screaming like a banshee. Banner opens fire on them, and Zoe swerves sharply, making Travis slide off. She returns fire, but Banner's machine gun overpowers her. They hide behind the car while Banner keeps unloading rounds. Just when all hope seems lost as he reloads, Natalie hits him with a gun. She knocks him out cold with another strike to the head. Nobody messes with her man and walks free. They step out from hiding and Russell rushes to embrace her, kissing her passionately. He wishes her a happy anniversary, making them both laugh. They'd never forget this one. Russell advises Zoe to get medical help next time she has problems, making her smile. She offers Travis the chance to ride off into the sunset with her. He refuses but gives her the will to move on. Looking at him one last time, she kisses him deeply before leaving in the car. Russell retrieves Natalie's ring from Banner's pocket, joking about a new career change. She kisses him happily, but above them, a police plane circles, and the blare of sirens grows louder. The three of them raise their hands and walk forward fearlessly. The investigation begins, and Travis finds Zoe's number scribbled on a dollar bill in his pocket. Just when he thinks he'll be arrested, since Russell already told the police what happened, the officer instead commends him for doing a great job. Travis offers friendship to Russell, claiming Russell loves him since he lied for him. Russell denies it, wanting no part, but Travis knows his address, so it's not up for debate. They're stuck for life. 6 months later, Zoe receives a call from Travis, who's been trying to reach her since. Apparently, the last 3 digits of her number were tough to figure out. He asks if she really wants to see him again, and Zoe tells him to come find out in Bali. Travis can't believe it, but when he's called to focus in the police academy, he makes up his mind and quits. Looks like he's going to Bali. Russell and Natalie open a bed and breakfast. One morning, Russell finds a box outside. When he opens it, he sees wads of cash with a note congratulating the grand opening from Zoe and Travis. Meanwhile, the client who received the monkey calls Clark to complain about the state it arrived in, but Clark isn't having it. Well, looks like the burnt monkey will just have to do. If you've made it to the end, hit the like button, comment, and share. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next recap.